Hello, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Before we begin our discussion, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. My name is Elisa Zanola, and I'm head of events for the Fashion Scholarship Fund. As we're all extremely familiar with Zoom at this point, there are some great features that we'd like for you to utilize. One of them is the chat box. Feel free to send chats to the panelists as the discussion is happening. And there's also the Q&A box. Send questions in, and we'll answer as many as possible during the Q&A segment of the evening. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director, Peter Arnold.
Thank you, Elisa. Welcome scholars, scholar applicants, alumni to our latest master class. Tonight's is themed Diamonds in Fashion, from runway to red carpet. I'd love to introduce our panelists. First, Coco Rocha, internationally recognized model and the owner and director of Nomad Model Management. Coco's also the founder and a mentor for her namesake model camp. Caroline Grosso, the fashion director and head of content projects for L'Officiel. Previously, Caroline was W Magazine's digital fashion director. Rebecca Foerster, who will be joining us shortly, is the president of Alrosa USA, part of Alrosa Group, the world leader in diamond mining, where she oversees all aspects of the company's domestic polished diamond sales, as well as marketing, program development, and implementation. And last but certainly not least, our moderator tonight, Grant Mobley, who is a diamond expert and serves as the trade director at the Natural Diamond Council. Grant, thanks to you for moderating, and thanks Coco, Caroline, and soon Rebecca for being our panelists. Grant, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Thank you so much for having me. And, I know this is a pretty short masterclass, so I want to just jump right into it. It's amazing to be here with so many just incredible people. So I want to start off with Coco, and I want to start off just saying, what role do you think diamonds and fine jewelry really play as runway accessories? I think there's not much better people in the world to ask that question.
Well, thanks for having me, everybody. I'm excited to be here. You're right. It is definitely a place where we should be showcasing the fabulous diamonds of the world. And they do so. I think that once we start wearing jewelry on runway, though, whatever we're wearing, it just elevates it. Whether it's a t-shirt and jean, pants, or if it is a Christian Siriana gown, you definitely, once wearing jewelry, there's something about it that even the model wants to emulate a different character, a different vibe. I don't know if it's just because we're, old souls when it comes to diamonds and you just feel like a different woman. But yes, on the runway, we are expected to take that bar and set it higher to showcase everything.
Great. And Coco, I'm sorry, Caroline, what about you? You cover fashion shows like crazy. When you see diamonds and fine jewelry on the runway, what does that really, what does that mean to the runway really for you?
Well, thank you also for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I think jewelry is really kind of the piece that ties an entire look together from a designer's vision. I think when editors often attend shows, they might be first to focus on the dress or the jacket that a model might be wearing, but it's the small details like jewelry that really kind of pull the look together and I think add a bit of polish to the statement that the designer's trying to make. This past season, the runways that we just saw, which was the upcoming spring season, it was really interesting because many designers are working with different materials, they're exploring different colors and different stones in ways that we haven't seen in a while. But that's what I actually thought made, Christian show really stand out, because the diamond pieces that walked on the runway were unexpected. And I think, just again, added that polish that was really special.
Yeah, I love that you say, it kind of completes the look, because I'm definitely the type of guy that I wear diamonds. Every single day. And when I'm walking out the door, it is kind of the last thing that you put on, and it makes everything feel like it comes together. Right. So I love it. But so I wanted to ask, you touched on it slightly, but I want to go into a little bit deeper, some of the trends that you're seeing, Caroline, on the, diamond trends, fine jewelry trends on the red carpet.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that, well, the red carpet is definitely one thing. I think really on the runway, we've been seeing, a lot of personal jewelry lately, some of these like smaller diamond pieces. And I think that's really nice because I think women now really purchase jewelry and purchase diamonds for themselves. We're not waiting around for someone else to buy them for us, even though that's always very nice. So I think that was, kind of a big takeaway that we've been seeing on, the runways in past seasons. I think on the red carpet, it really is about kind of making that statement. And I think what we've seen a lot of stylists do lately on the red carpet is to really inject the wearer and the celebrity's own personality into how they wear their jewelry. I think before you used to see just, the bigger the diamond, the better. And now it's about working in lariats or layering or rethinking how to wear pieces in ways that perhaps the jeweler maybe didn't even intend. So I think that's what's been really exciting lately.
And you touched a little bit on Christian's show, which if you can talk about maybe luminous diamonds, which is what, of course, the diamond jewelry that he was using for the show, and kind of what stood out for you in that.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Well, I think Coco can also speak to this quite a bit, but I think what was really exciting about seeing those pieces is, just the way they do illuminate is unlike something that, you see from any other jeweler. They are exceptionally rare. And I don't think that's something I've ever seen on a runway in my, close to, not to age myself, but my close to 15 years of doing it, So that was really exciting. I do have to say my favorite piece from that collaboration was that the beautiful headpiece that was worn on one of the finale looks. I think thinking about fine jewelry in new ways is really important. And I think that's how younger wearers want to wear jewelry. So giving them a piece that's, unexpected, a tiara that, may only seem reserved for a certain echelon of woman. It's kind of nice that now kind of anyone can really grasp onto that.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for being able to join us. I know that it was a little bit difficult, so I appreciate you making the effort.
Listen, I'm thrilled to be here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. It's always the hardest part of these panels sometimes.
Absolutely, preaching to the choir for sure. Well, I wanted to jump right into it with you. So we touched a little bit on luminous diamonds and seeing them on the red carpet, but I think a lot of the people in our audience probably aren't super familiar with luminous diamonds as a brand. So if you can kind of just go into luminous diamonds a little bit, talk about what makes them so different. Why do they stand out from all these other brands?
Sure. My pleasure. Hi, good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay. One thing that you need to know is luminous diamonds, in my many years of being in the diamond industry as well, is one of the most exciting, innovative jewelry lines that I have worked with or seen in a very long time. And the reason for that is that every luminous diamond has this unique and rare natural feature, which is almost like a hidden secret. And it all comes from a natural phenomenon that happens within the molecular structure of the diamond as it's growing under the ground for billions of years. And it's called fluorescence. And fluorescence creates the most incredible wow factor in a diamond, which is this bold, beautiful blue glow. And what we love about it, and what makes this brand so special, is this blue glow is so symbolic of what each of us as an individual carries inside: a unique aura, a unique light, something that reminds us how special and individual we are, and how we shine, and we have this inner spirit that carries us forward. And so every piece of luminous diamonds jewelry has these fluorescent stones, which are extremely rare. Only about 6% of the world's diamonds has this feature. And that's why we're so excited and happy to share and present at retail this wonderful diamond jewelry collection.
Yeah, it is. It is just so cool to see. I don't know, Alyssa, maybe if you could bring that back up and actually show the pictures of the jewelry themselves of the luminous diamonds, because I think maybe for some of the students, it's probably going to be difficult thing to visualize, you know, glowing. But there, you can see it there in that photo. Not this one, but the one
next
before.
one.
The next photo.
Yes.
There you go.
There. Yeah.
You can see really that blue glow. I do feel like it's something you almost need to see in person. I
Yeah.
know that it's kind of amazing. This is a relatively new, you know, diamond brand, which is, you know, and it's kind of amazing how quickly celebrities have started to adopt it. You know, very, very quickly. I know I've seen J-Lo and Lil Kim. I don't know if Alyssa, maybe you can. Oh, there's some photos there.
Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes as well. You know, kind of with this brand, and I think, you know, maybe Coco, you can, you know, I'd love to hear a little bit from you about your sort of personal connection to luminous diamonds and why they're special to you, and what it's like wearing them on the runway.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, just wearing diamonds is always something very special. As Rebecca mentioned, how special these diamonds though are, that there's something natural about it. That it's not pre-thought out like every other diamond, but it's special to you. In fact, we're wearing them today. I've been like a little puppy. I keep seeing it blinging, and I'm like, wow, that's me. But it's definitely something special to wear, right? And I think of like my children, my little girls, and like it's something also of like an emblem where you could probably, you know, hand off to the next child, and you know how special that is to them, that once worn by mom and now on to the next. Things like that to me is what I think of when I wear jewelry. It's not just going to be for me, but it's a connection. But as a model on runways or red carpets, when you know you're wearing a dress and then they say you're going to wear diamonds with it, you say, Grant, that you put on your clothes and then lastly you do the diamonds. I'm kind of the opposite. Today, when I knew these were my pieces, I went to Christian Siriano. I was like, find me a dress that goes with this. And that's usually how I go. When I know I have these special pieces that I'm going to be wearing, I want to showcase them as best as I can. And so I'm the opposite. I find clothing after I know what pieces I'm going to wear as jewelry.
If my jewelry selection was big enough, I'd probably do the same thing. That's awesome. And I know that you, because we had talked earlier and you had talked about, you know, working with brands that have, you know, a focus on sustainability as well. I know that's important to you. You know, I wanted to ask Rebecca, I know that so much has happened in the last couple of decades in the diamond industry, this huge transformation in focus on sustainability and so much stuff. And I know that your company, Alrosa, is doing some amazing things. If you know, could, you know, elaborate a little bit on that. I think that that's something really interesting that not many people get to hear about these days.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, Alrosa is sort of the sleeping giant of the diamond industry. It's the largest diamond mining company in the world. And what makes me so proud to represent them in the US market is this corporate social responsibility and focus on sustainability and how important that is to us in everything that we do. The way we mine the diamonds ethically with give back to the communities from which we take the diamonds. Everything is really thought out. So, you know, we focus on making sure that, you know, we have mine to market origin and provenance in all of our diamonds. They're all ethically mined in the area which is called Siberia, which is a very remote area of the world. And because of what we do there, the communities there who work with us have really much improved livelihood, education, all of the things that they need to really thrive as a community. So I'm very proud about that. And of course, luminous diamonds come from our mines there and are also part of our, you know, ethically mined production. You know, it's just really important. Consumers today, no matter what you're buying, whether it's coffee or a blouse or a diamond, they're looking for purpose brands, and they're looking to understand and know very clearly where their product comes from, how it was made, and what is it doing to give back to our world and our future environment.
That's great. And Coco, does that make a difference to you? Obviously when you purchase fine jewelry, it's not the cheapest thing you're going to buy, right? So that's obviously something that you think about, and it's important that this purchase is actually going to make a difference. It's going to feed a family. It's going to educate children. I imagine that's something that you think about, and if you could elaborate.
I think a lot of people do want to do the best that they can when they are purchasing anything, any product. And when you do find something out like that, that you realize that something that usually luxury is like, well, it's the last thing that a lot of people are thinking about, is like making sure that where these diamonds came from, that they're actually supporting the people in the place and the system there. I don't think in fact, Rebecca probably could tell you better, but I don't think there's many other diamond companies that are thinking of such things, but it is the future we need to think about if it's in clothing, diamond, jewelry. And as a consumer to buy that, yes, you feel far more at ease, comfortable, but also happy that, you buy something very expensive, but knowing that it actually is going to be doing some good out there. I think that's always how it should work.
Totally agree. And so I'll stay with you for a second, Coco. Now, you were widely photographed in that amazing aqua suit that Christian Siriano had designed for you. And you're wearing these cascading luminous diamond earrings. And since I know you're very good friends with Christian, I don't know if I can say, but you may or may not be in his office right now.
Dogs are barking and he's telling them to shut up, Coco's on a Zoom.
But can you tell us a little bit? I think, everybody's really interested in that sort of process for selecting like the perfect pair, the perfect necklace, the perfect whatever piece of fine jewelry to really go with this incredible thing that's being designed especially for you.
I think my few rules, if anyone cares how I put a look together, usually if we're really going to wear some fine jewelry, I always have my hair out. That is it's going to be, pulling that back and making sure that you can see my ears so that you can get the full effect. When it comes to anything that comes on the neck, as you see today, some sort of choker style, I'm okay with, but usually I would have something where it was clean skin so you can again see the beautiful diamonds. And those fingers, make sure that they're well be able to see them. However, I think that when you're wearing jewelry, that to complement it is also finding color or something dark. Those are the two ways of sort of, you want them to illuminate, right? So those contrasts will just kind of brighten up everything. Those are my rules, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, I think we're all interested about those rules because you certainly know. Well, I want to move a little bit from the runway to even the red carpet. So I want to, we talked about this a little bit at the beginning about kind of the difference between the two. So I'll start with you, Caroline, about, diamonds kind of enhancing red carpet looks versus enhancing the looks on a runway, and how that may or may not be different.
Yeah, well, I think designers and stylists approach those two moments in very different ways. So I think when you're thinking on the runway, you're really thinking about the whole vision and the designer's vision and kind of polishing that look off. To kind of Coco's point earlier, how she builds her red carpet looks around those jewelry pieces. I think a lot of red carpet stylists do that also. Oscar season and red carpet season, all of those stylists are vying for the best new jewelry pieces that they can get their hands on. And it's funny because I'm friendly with a lot of red carpet stylists, and they will hoard those dresses. They will hoard those jewelry. They don't want to release anything until they have the perfect jewelry look for their clients, whomever they're dressing. And so I do think really, especially on the red carpet, it's not just about polish, it's really, how do I stand out? When you have hundreds of women who are trying to, prove to the world, not only are they talented actors and actresses, but they have a sense of style as well. It really is the only place to, be a little more daring and to really kind of show, that you can kind of play on that level also.
Not to put you on the spot, but are there any diamond moments on the red carpet that really stand out that you can think of?
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say, the most recent Oscars is really interesting because it was a much smaller red carpet, right? So, it was still socially distanced, not a lot of celebrities were attending in the way that we're used to. And I have to say, Zendaya to me just always absolutely, kills it and cleans up. Like, I think she does such a good job of styling things in an unexpected way. But the actress Vanessa Kirby really surprised me this season. And that's because she wore a diamond necklace, but actually wore it backwards. And I think that was just such an interesting choice, and a real way that kind of fashion can complement your jewelry. And I think she really stopped people in their tracks. And it was a really timeless look, but very forward at the same time.
I actually remember that one, and you're totally right. Well, I could literally talk about diamonds on the red carpet all day, but we probably need to move on since we don't have all day. But I want to, Coco, I want your take on that, because I know you're probably the only one of us that have ever walked red carpets and been on the runway. So for you, what is that like sort of little difference?
It definitely is, as Caroline just explained, that when it comes to red carpets, they're looking for statement pieces that people will be, stunned by, stop at the page and look at the celebrity or the model. When it comes to the runways, sometimes it's a little more softer, demure, not so in your face, some pieces, so that it is about the clothing and the whole ensemble. When it is a red carpet moment, it is such I feel like a princess half the time. I feel like I'm playing Cinderella or something where, these pieces are given to you, you wear them, and you create this sort of character on these red carpet. It is special moments. I definitely don't take it for granted when I have those opportunities to wear these gorgeous pieces. But again, I'm the same sort of thing as Caroline was mentioning, is that when it is brought, it is true, stylists hoarding, bringing all the collection together, seeing which one fits, which one's the right one, and then at the last minute releasing everything. I know so many designers that are like, are you wearing mine? Is it my dress? Is it my jewels? What are you doing? And you don't pretty much know. I think that also to do something that is different. I think of what Christian did with Luminous Diamonds on the runway, that he put it in the hair. I mean, just before I came here, he started putting in my hair. I was like, stop it, it's going around my neck. Just play. I think that's the other thing with jewelry. Sometimes we think it's so precious, or that it's traditional and we must always wear it in one certain specific ways. But as Christian and some others who feel, I don't know, like it's a fantasy. So create this fantasy for the world to kind of observe. I love all that. We're playing dress up every day and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we don't have much time. So I want to very quickly, I want to hear from each of you. If you could give one piece of advice for young designers about how to use diamonds and fine jewelry to create impact, whether it's red carpet or runway. We'll start with Rebecca. How about that?
So I think, to Coco's point, jewelry today has to really be fun. I think, in the diamond industry, we, for a little while, became very serious about diamonds and got much more involved with grading and all kinds of things. But the reality is that every diamond is unique and every diamond is beautiful. And as a young designer, make sure you have a story that reflects your inspiration and who you are and how you want to express yourself. And don't be afraid to do something a little bit different, because I think consumers today are much more open to innovation and trying new things. And certainly the tiara on the runway was a great example of that. So just be yourself, but make sure you have a unique story and stay true to that. And I'm sure your piece will be really fantastic and viewed as something very special and unique.
It's amazing. What about you, Caroline?
Well, I absolutely agree with that as well. But I'll say too, I think designers should be willing to experiment. When you're thinking about designing clothing, you have the whole body to design for. And I think that thinking of that kind of approach to jewelry could be really interesting too. It's not just an earring or a necklace or a ring, how else could you wear it around the body? And I think that's exciting too.
Great. And what about you, Coco?
I think what Rebecca was mentioning, don't do the expected for sure. I think if we're talking about designing your own pieces, something I say to models is to stop being a second-rate version of someone else. So stop copying. And I think you are trying to create pieces that really are special to you, or it's your opinion, that your opinion matters then and no one else's does. So to create those pieces, you're going to hear a lot of no's and yeses and compliments and negativity. But if you really believe in it, if you believe in those pieces, I truly believe that that will be what will be the beginning of your careers. And I think that's in anyone's space. You really trust in what you have, your gut feeling. It usually works.
That's great. Well, that's about our time. It's been so much fun hearing from all of you. I could do this for another 2 or 3 hours easily, but that is about all the time we have. I did want to mention, I know that there's a million people out there that have some questions. And so if you can get those questions over to FSF, then we'll try to get you whatever answers that we can. Absolutely. So, I know we don't have time for a Q&A right now, but we will try to get those. So I'll turn it back over to Peter, I think, for a close.
Thanks, Grant, and thanks for being so swift and efficient with the time allotted. Questions, please, info@fashionScholarshipFund.org, and we'll direct them to the right respondent. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Caroline and Coco, for wonderful thoughts on Runway to Red Carpet. Very much appreciated. And this will be recorded, and many more of our constituents will get to see it. So thank you for your generous time. And good night.
Night.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.